Embark with me on a journey through the enchanting French landscapes. A journey that takes us to a place where time has woven a fascinating tale around the abandoned home of Mr. Emile, the revered former town mayor of this quaint town where the house is located, and a father of a family of 5. This silent haven, frozen in the grip of the years, conceals the tales of a man deeply connected to his town and community. Mr. Emile was, and still is, a figure of respect, and that becomes evident inside. He received numerous medals of honor for his community service. Yet, he cultivated more than just awards. He nurtured a passion for numismatics and tended to his own harvest of potatoes, blueberries, and more. Inexplicably, after Mr. Emile's passing in 2011, the house became a silent witness to the elements. More than 12 years later, frozen in the amber of time, it now stands as an ethereal relic. Join us today as we peel back the layers of history, unveiling the untold story of this former town mayor, as we delve into the mystique that cloaks this forgotten chapter in a small town's history. Welcome back everybody to the channel. Welcome back. Today I have a place to show you. You're not gonna believe your eyes. Neither did I. We are doing a day of checks in France today, which means that we found locations on satellite and Google Maps and we don't know anything about them. We sometimes find beautiful places by doing so, but to find a place that you're gonna see today is ultimately rare. We found the time capsule in and out with everything left behind, and the man that used to live here was Mr. Emile. He was a very well-respected man. From the government he got multiple medals of honor. And yeah, I'm just very excited to show you everything that's left behind and all the rooms in this place. It is a pretty big house. There is even also still a car left behind. I'm not gonna spoil too much. Let's just start with the exploration. So we were struggling to find an entrance to this place, until we found this sort of basement area slash a shed. And then the first thing I've seen are these gnomes over here, the rabbit statues, and I thought this looks so fairy-like. This gotta be a beautiful place. I just had a gut feeling. And yeah, you're about to see it in a bit when we walk up the stairs to make it to the actual living parts of this home. It's gonna be magical. Well, over here we have some tiny bottles of beer. And I think inside these cages over here with the metal grid in front of them, they used to store some food products. Okay, let's make our way through here. Wow, look to the concave shape of this basement. I'm not sure what these were, but I think they used to be part of a table, like the stands of a table. Over here we can see all the jars that they used to can and store food. Same goes right over here. And we do have a few bottles of wine over there. But wait until you see what's waiting in the next part of this basement. Check that out over there. We have plenty of wine. And I've already looked at a few bottles and they are mostly from the 1980s and the 1990s. They're also all still labeled. This one says Bordeaux. This one Côte du Rhône. All very well-known wine regions in France. But of course, I get it. You want to see the real deal, the actual house. So we're slowly starting off in this basement, and right now we're going to head upstairs. Okay, we're gonna walk up these stairs, and you're about to see the first glimpse of this home. There's gonna be parts where there is wonderful natural decay. As you can already tell over here, that happened to this wallpaper. But because of that, we can actually appreciate the beautiful original wall paint. It used to be there one day. Wow. Check out this main corridor, guys. The main hallway of the home. Knowing that you're the first explorer to discover a place like this, set foot inside and see it in this original condition makes you feel so grateful. Got a checkered floor tiles over here. Still the coat of Mr. Emile hanging up. A few jugs on top of the coat rack. And even his hat's right next to his jacket. Maybe these are even the keys of the front door. As you can tell, they definitely do not want anybody to get inside of here, because the chair is actually barricading the door. Painting over here. I'm not sure what to show you first, but I think we're just going inside this room, which is a bedroom. As you can tell, everything is completely preserved over time. It's all in its original place. Nothing seems to be missing of the past owner, Mr. Emile. And I assume he lived there with his family. I was gazing at this pillow and I think it's very unique. Beautifully embroidered. A lot of paperwork over here. I can just see some spiders crawling inside the cabinet. I'm not sure what sewing machine this is. It doesn't seem like a singer. I believe it's a puff. I can still see some faded letters on it saying puff. But you can clearly tell that the wood board of the sewing machine is also full of white mold. Still two dolls sitting on top of the pillow in the bed. Hauntingly beautiful. I also cannot believe that the beds are just still made up. I can see some feces over here in the bed. I was firstly thinking it was mold, but it's actually animal droppings. Oh, look at this, how neat. Still some tiny decoration pieces on the windowsill. Chiquito. Another painting over here. You can clearly tell wallpaper is all peeling, and over here it's already completely gone. And it also seems like they cleaned it. Or maybe they put it somewhere else in the home. Because as you can tell, there is some wallpaper laying here, so I assume that somebody came in and just put the wallpaper all over here on the chair. I guess before showing you the main living room over here, we're firstly going to this corner of the home. I do not know a year of abandonment yet, so I'm trying to figure that out. I see some magazines on the ground over here, but these two do not seem to have a date. Well, this is a letter from 1998. I cannot find any dates there, but I'm sure we will find something. This used to be a bathroom. Used to be. They clearly use it for storage right now. And is it even an egg on top of that carton box? I hear a door slamming here all the time. I think it's the wind. But still, yeah, it's the wind, but it's kind of scary. That was freaking me out a little bit. Toilet area. Well, thank you, wind, for opening the door for me. You can clearly tell that we made it to the garage right now. I see a date over here, 2002. I think this place is actually abandoned for quite a while. But it's just very well preserved. The thing is, when we drove in front of this place to check it out, we were a little bit hesitant. Because the garden is very overgrown, but the windows do seemingly still look quite clean. But then we entered, we collected the guts, and we knew it for sure. This is an abandoned time capsule. Oh, the smell is bad, but still acceptable to show it to you. There is still food products in here, but it's mostly vegetables. I think if it was meat, that it would have been way worse. Well, there is some ham over there rotting, so that's probably causing the bad smell. It's all just still left behind. And now comes the surprise, guys. Check this out. A Peugeot 405 SR. It's in such a neat condition, almost showroom condition. Only needs a little bit of dusting. Let's check the tires. Okay, tires are starting to become a little bit flat. Unbelievable. Wow. Look at the inside. There's even sweat. Oh. But some parts are very moldy, so it has definitely been standing here for quite a while. 30,000 kilometers on this car. That's not a lot. That is really not a lot. This car is still pretty new. Now there is also a little door over here. I haven't checked it out, so I don't know what's over there. Okay, over here we have some storage. A lot of cobwebs above me, so I have to duck down a little bit. Oh, plenty more storage over here. Whoa. Look at this, guys. We got a pristine workshop over here. Well, pristine, you get the point. Like, all the tools are left. Most of the parts are still organized. Unbelievable. Mr. Emile was definitely a handyman. And one of the diplomas that we're gonna find upstairs in his office indicated that he was a conductor. But I believe he was some sort of military conductor. And that's the reason why he got so many medallions and medals of honor. Now let's head back to the main hallway, because I am really amped to show you the living room. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna see if I can close this door so it stops slamming all the time. But I think maybe this will do the job. Okay. There we are back. It's the main hallway. As you can tell, they put a table right in front of the door opening over here, but we can actually walk around through this side. Whoa. Kitchen over here. Quite messy. As you can tell, everything is also left over there. We're also gonna find a kitchen upstairs, and I think that one is way more beautiful than this one. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on details over here. But in the corner over there is major damage in the ceiling. So there's probably a lot of leakage over there. Okay, the main living room, guys. Check this out. Wow. Wow, wow. This is the definition of untouched. Solely touched by the elements. Stuffed weasel over there. Oh, we got a very old picture over here. It's kind of faded, and there used to be another one right next to it. That one is in better condition. Of a woman. Possibly the parents of Mr. Emile. All the porcelainware is still inside. A gourmet kit. I actually had gourmet with my friends last night. That's funny. Yeah, you like these squeaky doors. Wow. I also truly love this perspective of the room. You can tell they had one carpet, but it was kind of damaged. So they put another one there too. Now, as you can tell, there is also a bed placed in the living room. That's most of the times rather common when an older person used to live here. Couldn't walk up the stairs anymore properly and decided to put a bed in the living room so it was way more convenient and easier to move throughout the home. So that's probably from the last days of Mr. Emile or his wife, I don't know. And also the reason why this property now stands here, vacant, slowly decaying time, I don't know. It still remains a question. One final look at the lamp over here, hanging in the center of the ceiling. It's time. We're gonna make our way upstairs. And in order to get there, we have to walk over this maze of peeled wallpaper. Now the first thing you see in the upstairs is this little upstairs stairwell. It's rather left in a state of disarray, but wait until you see the rooms. Now remember I told you there is also a kitchen upstairs. That's way more beautiful. That one is actually here. Wow. Wow, oh wow. You can see black mold over there, imprinted in the wallpaper. Just everything's there. Every single thing. plates, kitchen utensils, all they needed. It really makes you aware that this is not just a building, this was once a home. People really lived there, spent their lifetime here. And sometimes you can still sense some of that vibrant energy of the people that once lived there, still present as the day of today. Oh, picture of a dog. That's cute. A calendar of 2000s. Yeah, so I think it has been abandoned for quite a while. Okay, this says 2011. This honey. So I think for at least a decade, this place has been sitting in silence. And as I'm opening up these kitchen cabinets, I can just see the cobwebs and tell that nobody has opened these in years, and that we're really the first to be here in a long time. Look at that. That's so precious. Wow. Crazy. And there was even a little Santa up here, so I think the place became abandoned around Christmas time. What I do like is they also have these brushes hanging up here. And some pictures of birds in these frames. Now probably my favorite room in this home is actually this one right over here. Wow. This bedroom is perfectly decaying in time. You can see all the woodwork on the nightstand, the bed, the little shelves slowly starting to get covered in mold. Same for the wardrobe over here. I can only imagine that if this place stays secret and I come back in 2 or 3 years, it's going to be even more beautiful. Children's photo over here. Maybe actually when Mr. Emile was a child. But I'm not sure if they already had colorized pictures back then. So moldy. Jikes. With the wallpaper just slightly covering the headboard of the bed. Oh, wow. Leaves of wood are just peeling from this wardrobe. And check out the stuffed bird on top. I'm not sure if I even have to touch this. I'm really curious if there are clothes inside. I'm just gonna do it very carefully. Even the shelves have collapsed inside this wardrobe. But yeah, there are some clothes, some pullovers and some bed linen. Oh wow. We got a very vintage radio over here as well. No way. This is their wedding photo. Mr. Emile, together with his lovely wife, on their happy day. Oh, that's so beautiful. And I think right in front of me is a photo album. Yo, yes. You can really not understand why things like this are not retrieved by any loved ones of them. Family, friends. Although a lot of pictures are missing, but you can tell this is them again. Summer on holiday. Wow. I want to put this back in the way I found it, just because of the fact how well preserved this place is. Oh, and look what also came out. Maybe the nephews of the family. Now the next room is a very special space. This is the former office of Mr. Emile. Shockingly still full of his personal documents and sensitive information. There is also a picture over here. And on the plate it says 2000. You see, this is a diploma and other certificates as well. You got different medals of honor, as you can see, from the Republic of France. In 1988. And what's even more special is this right over here. The actual medals are still there, perfectly left on display. It's almost surreal that this is still left behind in this way. Some pictures right behind it. And again, something saying conductor. So I think he was a conductor. Though the best thing we can do in these places is just deduct the story from what we find inside. And sometimes people wonder, why do you not ask the neighbors or people living in the town? But you just don't want to draw attention that you have been inside. They might be angry, they might call authorities and they will close the place. And I will gladly come back here another time in a couple of years. Well, another bedroom. This one is also really beautiful. I do like the other one a little bit more, but this one is also incredible. Let's see what's inside the suitcase. Oh, pillow. All right. Some knitwear. A lot of sheets. I'm curious, there are not that many clothes left behind. They did leave so many of their possessions left behind, but yeah, over here are some clothes, but also mostly look like pajamas. Aha. Here we have some more clothes. And it's a mixture of men's and women's clothes, so it's hard to tell who lived there the last and who passed away the first. Oh wow, I just love these old photos. I'm wondering who this was. Maybe his wife in her younger days. The picture seems quite old. Maybe it's one of the parents. Now we did see a living room, we did see a bathroom, we did see a kitchen, we did see the bedrooms. That was everything, right? It wasn't. There is still a surprise. The most huge room inside the entire home is still about to follow. And that's a very big surprise of this exploration. As you can tell, we also have an attic. We've got another bathroom over here. It's just unreal to see all the grooming products also still standing there. Of course, it's nothing very valuable, but it just makes you aware somebody used the space one day, and the next day it just became abandoned and lost ever since. There are definitely people in need in this world. Well, are you ready for the surprise? Gonna duck down and we're gonna make our way in the final room. Check this out. Wow, when we saw this, we were completely gobsmacked. This is definitely one of my best own discoveries in a long time. So I'm very happy that today was already successful and we got to show you this amazing place. Look at the dry and barren plants over here. Oh, and I also love this embroidered frame. Wow. Almost looks like a picture, it's so lifelike. Really wondering what they use this room for. And maybe they even lived in this home, like the parents used one space and in case they had children they used the upstairs, for example, and had their own living room. I don't know, but it's very possible. I haven't seen the inside of all these doors yet. A lot of plates. Over here I see some decoration and some liquor. Oh yeah, banana liquor. And more liquor over here. These typical doors opening like this in a tilted way, containing the liquor. Some nice little embroidered puppets over here. Well, I normally would show you this, but I'm not gonna show you it right now. It's actually a picture of the outside of this place, and I do want to preserve it in the way it is, and I want it to remain secret. Picture. Well, the last thing is to check out this over here. And I think there is not gonna be super interesting stuff. But you never know. Oh, some confiture. Glasses over there for the liquor. Spinning wheel right over here. This really looks like an old granny's room. With chairs like this. You can clearly tell they love listening to music. Massive speaker and radios right over here. Whoa, look at this frame in the picture. 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝗆 from Rome, Italy. A Radiola vintage television. Wow. Unreal, guys. That was it. That was the discovery of today. I'm gonna see if this works. Put my camera right here. It's not gonna be perfectly, how do you say that, like perfectly horizontal, but yeah, I have to say I really love this exploration. I don't know how to explain it, but it's such a special feeling if you discover a place yourself and you've never seen pictures of other people, so you don't know what the place is gonna be like at all. And then if you enter and you see such beautifully crystallized rooms, it is super unique. I really hope you enjoyed today's exploration. In the end, I think that this place got abandoned around the 2000s, maybe 2011, but I'm not sure. It was lived in by Mr. Emile, his wife, and I assume they also had children given the size of the home and the amount of bedrooms. He was a conductor, that's what I think at least. And for the rest, I could not find more information. But yeah, if you saw any things in this video that caught your attention, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, please smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. Also, we offer channel memberships. If you want to get early access to one of our videos, like the one that's coming after this one next week, you can already watch that one if you're a member. And also, we make member exclusive videos. That means that it's episodes that we don't want to release to the main channel just because the places are too special or too secret that we cannot upload them. They will only be available for members as well. Check it out, we have multiple tiers and support will help us greatly on our trips. And in the end, I want to wish you much love, peace and blessings from France, and I will see you on the next adventure. Peace out.